Standard framing versus advanced framing. What is advanced framing and why I prefer it? Hey guys, this is Dayton with Hedgewood Builders. I'm out on our Maxwell farmhouse build, and I want to show you quickly how we prefer to frame a house. So typically in this area, everything's framed on 2x4s on 16-inch centers. So advanced framing, at least the modified version we're using, is we're using 2x6s, and we put them on 24-inch centers. So the purpose of that is to maximize our insulation envelope. So typically you're looking at wood has an R value, which is the insulative scale of about 1 per inch. Insulation, so you're looking at 4 on a 2x4 wall. And then your bad insulation is of about R13, typically around here. You can get a little bit more than that with spray foam, or you can get up to 15 roughly. So you've got 13 filling the space, and every 16 inches you've got R4. So if you were to combine all of that wood together, you've got a significant amount of weak insulation in your wall. So by going with 2x6s, we're doubling that. So we've got 50% more. We've got up to R6, but we can get R19 in the walls. And we can, for every 10 foot of wall, we can drop about 3 studs. So that's significantly less weak points in our envelope. So we're going more insulation and 50% deeper insulation. So we've significantly upgraded the envelope on this house. And then, you know, in spaces whenever possible, like here we had to put an extra brace in this wall. So we actually used 2x4s on it, so I've got space behind it. I can insulate it. Whenever possible, I'm going to leave a gap and insulate everything around it. Another key point of advanced framing is headers, insulating your headers. So typically, houses are framed out where the headers are boxed all the way to the inside. They'll just fill that up with lumber one way or the other, like above these windows here. See here. So instead, what we've done is taken the same amount of wood that's typically like on a 2x4 house, 2x12s, and we stack them together and put them all the way to the outside. So it's every bit as strong, but it leaves me with 2.5 inches of gap on the inside, and I'm going to take a sheet of 2-inch polysio foam board, fill this in, and seal it in. And now it's taking this, so every window is roughly 3 square feet, 2x12, roughly 3 foot of window, where that would have been on a 2x4 house, especially would have only been R4, 3 square feet of only R4. I'm going to have 3 square feet of this is going to be about 18. By the time I put 2 inches of insulation plus my wood value, I'm up to R18. So exponentially better insulation through this house. And we do that at every door and every window. Quick calculation I did on this house alone, by reducing the number of studs in the wall, I added about 60 square feet of 19 insulation that would have been on a 2x4 house, would have only been R4. I'm at 19. I increased my insulative envelope 60 square feet, and then when I add in my headers, my insulated headers, that's another 60 square feet. So we've got 120 additional square feet on this relatively small house, about 1,800 square feet of significantly more insulation. Very little cost difference. It's just about adding a little bit of thought and training your guys to understand what you're looking for. Another quick thing on let me find a corner here, on a advanced framed house is what typically called a California corner. So often an outside corner is framed up in such a way that it leaves a gap toward the outside, so that you can connect your drywall, but this whole space will be exposed, so you've got a weak point in your envelope. You'll have insulation on both sides, but right there in the middle there's nothing. So if you just frame this up with a framing stud this way and then one laid on the other side. So this one's just slid out a little bit. So now you've got room to tack your drywall, but you can insulate all the way back into this cavity. Completely fill everything. Makes a huge difference when you add all of those outside corners in a house. Again, you're adding a significant amount of insulation and square footage of insulation. We've also, another quick tip that you should keep in mind whenever we're built on a slab. This house is a concrete slab floor. A slab, concrete in general, is just a rigid sponge, is the best way to think about it. It pulls in moisture and holds it for a long time. So it takes a while for it to disperse. That's why they make you put treated sill plates, pressure treated sill plates before you put your studs on. But then you tack, most people will just tack OSB directly to that. And OSB, if you've ever dealt with it, when it gets wet, it just turns into sawdust almost instantly. Within months of it staying wet at all. And within years, every house on a slab, that bottom edge of the OSB is starting to fail. So we've put a 2-foot section all the way around the house of pressure treated plywood. Again, just to step up and prevent any long-term damage to the base sheathing on the house. That's basically all I wanted to say. All I've got right now. If you've got any questions or comments, any tips, let me know. Check us out. Instagram, Facebook. Give us a like, I guess. Thank you. Later.